Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning into Rules for Rebels. And as you can see here in today's video, we're going to be talking about TextBroker. I've gotten a couple emails and a couple YouTube comments lately, people asking me, what's the deal with TextBroker? Have you ever bought writing off of there or hired writers off of there? Have you ever written for them? Is it worthwhile? Is it legit? Is it a scam? And you know what's kind of funny? I actually heard about TextBroker probably about a year ago. And I heard about this platform through the Homemade Entrepreneur. So he's a cool guy. I've never personally connected with him or chatted with him, but he's an Amazon FBA seller, a retail arbitrage guy, has some courses out and stuff, but very down to earth, very realistic information. I kind of dig his stuff, and he does kind of a lot of very basic, here's how to make your first dollar online type videos, and I think that's helpful to a lot of people. We're going to be talking about TextBroker today. We're going to be talking about, is it legit? Is it a scam? Can you actually really make any money on here? There's a lot of videos on YouTube, make 150 bucks a day with TextBroker. So we're going to kind of talk about that, how the platform works, how much you're paid, what it's like getting set up on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, TextBroker has been around since 2005. Each month there are over 100,000 paid gigs on the platform. So there's a lot of platforms out there that kind of cater to freelancers and writing and this, that, and the other. But a lot of them don't have very much work on them. So this is probably one of the most popular, one of the more well-established writing platforms. A big complaint about this platform, as well as really like any kind of gig site, is that it just kind of drives the cost of work down. People like photographers and graphic designers and content writers and copywriters, they oftentimes don't like sites like TextBroker and Fiverr and even Upwork because A, you're competing with kind of third world workers who kind of drive the cost of labor down, but also a lot of people feel like writers and graphic designers and web designers and everybody else just don't properly value their work, value their time, and again, it just kind of drags down, the cost of gigs for everybody. Couple things that are kind of cool about this platform. This kind of plays into what we're going to be talking about in a second, which is like, who is this perfect for? And one of the cool things about TextBroker is as soon as a client accepts your work, you're immediately paid out the money. The money is immediately accessible to you, and they have a very low payment threshold. So their payment threshold is only $10. A lot of people's complaint about, AdSense, for example, is, well, until I get $100, I can't cash my money out. And a lot of affiliate programs are the same way. Until you get to 50, 100, a couple $100, you can't cash your money out. I actually got a couple $100 sitting in Trezor's affiliate program right now because I'm not at, they had like some insane threshold, like $600 to cash out. So I haven't been able to cash that out. I'll be honest with you, the money on here isn't going to be fantastic, but it is at least legit, real money, and it's money that you can have access to fairly quickly. The reason I say this is going to be kind of for the people just getting started making money online. Let's just kind of get into like who is this perfect for? High school students, college students. You can probably earn at least minimum wage on here, and kind of the flexibility of being able to write in the middle of the night, between classes, whatever else. Maybe it beats going to get a part-time job. Stay-at-home moms. People between jobs, like really desperate, just looking to bring in whatever money. If you're looking to make a few bucks and you at least enjoy writing somewhat or somewhat skilled at it, this could be a good hustle for you. People who are actually looking to get into copywriting, looking to get into freelance writing for blogs, magazines, things like that. One kind of cool thing about TextBroker is you get experience writing for a lot of different niches. I think a lot of us, myself included, most of my writing is for like either businesses I own or run or passion projects of mine. It's very easy to write about topics that you're super knowledgeable about or that you're super passionate about. It's really hard to write about boring shit, right? Like I was just talking to a guy about a freelance job, and it was going to be writing landing pages for senior care centers. And it was funny, at the kind of gig, he was like, look, man, he's like, I know you'd be really good at this. He's like, I can just tell from your personality and stuff. He's like, you're not going to be happy doing this. Like, I just don't think it's a good fit. And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree. So like on here, like I wrote a couple gigs just to kind of test out the platform and things like that. Like, it's really boring writing bios for Indian businessmen. It's really boring writing product recaps for baby products. And if you guys have ever tried to blog for like high paying niches, I remember when I first got started with blogging, I would try to go after all the highest paying niches. So things like mesothelioma, car insurance, auto insurance, merchant processing, different health related topics, like just targeting content to write about because it pays high. But when it's really boring content and content you have to research is incredibly boring. But like I said, TextBroker is going to give you experience writing a wide array of different types of content. So if you're a copywriter, a website designer who does a little bit of copy, if you're looking to get into freelance writing, this is a great way to get some practice writing about topics that are maybe kind of outside your normal realm. And then one reason I say that this is good for people who want to get into freelance writing, magazine writing, technical writing, a lot of times if you're wanting to get into this, you're going to have to start practicing this stuff. My buddy Jared, who's doing writing right now, he's actually making a very, very good buck off his writing. But when he first started, he was writing just for practice, and he was writing hours a day for practice. So I think one of the cool things about TextBroker is if you are somebody who's serious about writing and copywriting, rather than just like, if I was going to be a copywriter, I would probably start going on different websites and just practicing writing copy for their website or practicing writing, sales letters, press releases. And I'd just be doing it for practice and I'd be doing it completely free. So at least with TextBroker, you can get some experience under your belt and practice while making a couple bucks. And then lastly, I think probably one of the last groups of people who this is maybe good for, actually two groups. If there's a lot of people out there who are really broke but want to start some little business. So I often see people on Reddit or people who message me, email me, hey, I want to start a drop shipping business, but I only have $3. And I always tell people, like, go make $100, go make $300 before you try to start your drop shipping store or whatever else it is you're trying to do. And most people are like, oh, well, I can't clean out people's garages. It's wintertime here. I can't mow a lawn. Oh, I can't get in. I don't have a PayPal account. I can't do Fiverr. Everybody's always got an excuse. Anybody can do TextBroker. It's very easy to get set up on TextBroker. If you're looking to raise, $50, $100, a couple $100 to be able to launch some business that you want to start, this would be a great way to make some money. And I'm also going to link into another guy who has some good information, some good videos about TextBroker. A very small YouTube channel, but the guy, I think he has some health problems and he's on like some type of like, Medicaid, Medicare, something like that. And what kind of sucks for him is he can't make over X amount of money per month or he'll lose his health care. And it's really kind of a sad situation. Our healthcare system in this country is really kind of fucked up. But, people who probably would like to go get a good job and get ahead, if they do, they're going to be bankrupted by their healthcare costs. So they're almost forced to stay at poverty levels so that they can get free healthcare because unless, there's no middle ground. You're either poor and you get free healthcare or you're rich and you can afford to pay for it. But you can't be middle class and still pay for your healthcare. So if you happen to be somebody who's in a situation like that where for whatever reason you can't make over X amount of money, here's a way to make some money flexibly from home and be able to kind of control how much you make. So there's two sides to TextBroker. So that's kind of who it's for. Keep in mind, you're not going to get rich off this platform. Kind of the overall strategy is going to be get some writing under your belt so that you can get direct orders. And I'll kind of get into this in a second. But when you first start out, let's hold off on explaining that. Two sides to TextBroker. So you need a content writer, and you can hire writers off here, or you can say, I write content. Now, the quality of content you're going to get on here is going to be really kind of across the board in terms of there'll probably be some great stuff and some really spotty stuff. A lot of the people who write on this platform are people from India or the Philippines who English isn't their first language, so that's going to be a little bit spotty. But you also have, and I hate to say like prey on desperate people, but there's also people who don't really value themselves right and are probably very, very good writers, but who are willing to work for crap pay. And here's a place that you can get some very, very cheap writing done. But that kind of gets into the people who are actually quality writers are going to be able to get people to give them direct orders or are going to be able to join teams, and they're going to go from making 7/10 of a penny or a penny per word to making 5 cents or even more per word. So if you're going to be on this platform, if you stick around for a while, kind of make a reputation for yourself, the pay should get better by at least like 5x. So let's hop over to my TextBroker account and let me tell you guys kind of how this went. So like I said, some people have been asking me about it. I meant to check it out like a year ago when Homemade Entrepreneur mentioned it. So TextBroker, you're going to sign up. I forget, the sign up process is pretty basic: name, phone number, address, kind of all that jazz. You're also going to submit a writing sample. Now, I actually did a pretty good writing sample, and then they say, okay, it'll take us 2 weeks to grade your work. After that, you're going to get an email. They're going to want to confirm your ID. So you're going to have to, I believe, take a picture of your, kind of like the cryptocurrency verification. You're going to take a picture holding an ID up to your face. You're also going to take another close-up of your ID. You're going to email that into them. And they say about 2 weeks later, you should hear back. Well, I kind of totally forgot about this. About a month later, I realized I still hadn't heard back. And I was like, I'll hit these guys up and see what's going on. They emailed me back. They're like, oh, yes, we've received your stuff. We'll get to it. And about a day later, everything came through. I got my grade on my writing. I was graded at 3 stars. They give examples of like 1-star work, 2-star work, 3-star work, 4-star work, 5-star work. I actually submitted a really good writing sample. I don't think anybody ever gets graded over 3 stars. Now, let's think about this. This platform, they're making their money off the people paying for content. So by keeping writers' wages low, it allows them, it makes it more attractive to people who are going to pay for content, and probably brings more money into them. So I've seen a lot of people, I was doing a little bit of research on YouTube and Reddit. I've seen a lot of people who talk about joining this platform. They say I submitted an excellent writing sample, and they still rated me 3 stars. So it doesn't seem like anybody gets rated higher than 3 right off the bat. As you start writing, you can earn 4 stars and then 5 stars. Like I said, you're never going to make a killing off of here, but you're not going to really be making any respectable money until you get your 5-star rating. If you're 2-star, actually at 3-star, I'm 1 cent. At 4-star, I think it goes up slightly. Let's hop over here and see. Okay, so if you're 2-star, you're 0.7 cents. 3-star, 1 cent. 4-star, you get a slight bump, 1.4 cents, and 5 stars, you get 5 cents. If you're wondering like how much that pays out per writing piece, a lot of these writing pieces are going to be like 300 words to 500 words. 300 words is about 2/3 of a page. And if you're making if you're a 5-star writer, you're getting 5 cents per word. For a 300-page article, you're going to get $15, which isn't terrible. If you can knock out a couple of these a day, $30, $45 as a total side thing, not horrible. As a 4-star writer, though, you're only going to get $5.34. And as a complete beginner, you're only going to get $3. So the money's not going to be fantastic until you get up to that 5-star level. So I did 3 gigs just to kind of test it out. I would say all in all, writing these 3 things probably took me 6 to 7 minutes. One of them, Highlands Amazon, they asked me to look at an Amazon listing for baby teething tablets, like pain relief tablets. Look at it, summarize it. Got 71 cents for that one. Social media analysis. These types of gigs seem really easy. So the social media analysis gig was, they asked me to look at a Twitter profile, kind of summarize what the profile was about, and send a tweet that I would send if I were that brand. That literally took me about 30 seconds to do, got 35 cents. And then the longest one was an article about Ryan Seacrest. Now, one thing that kind of gets me really curious is what this content is going to be used for. And in a second, we'll hop over to assignments and take a look at some of these assignments. But a lot of times I'm like, what the hell are they even using this content for? People might hire like several hundred writers to write a bio of some businessman or of some product or something like that. So obviously they're using it for like SEO purposes in some way, but you don't really know. So anyhow, my highest paying article, I got $3.50. I basically had to summarize an article about Ryan Seacrest. And that's kind of how a lot of these gigs are going to work. People will say, Google this guy's name, pick an article from the first page or second page of Google, and kind of write a summary, basically kind of recap the article in your own words. So kind of my style of writing for a lot of these things is basically I'll take an article, copy and paste it into Word or the writing platform on here, and I will basically just start above it and just kind of, you guys know what article spinners are, where you can plug a piece of content into a spinner and it shuffles the words out. It shuffles the words around and spits out a new version that's supposedly like, good enough not to be ruled duplicate content by Google. I'll essentially do like a manual article spin, which is pretty mindless and pretty easy. And that's what I did for this Ryan Seacrest article. As far as kind of how the assignments work. So again, in I don't know, we'll say 5-10 minutes of work, I made $4 and some change. There's 6 10-minute blocks in an hour. So 6 times $6, $36. I guess potentially you might be able to make like $25 to $35 an hour, but there's also time involved finding these gigs and submitting them and everything else. If we go over here to assignments, one thing that's kind of cool about here is, unlike Fiverr or Upwork, where you have to apply for a job and maybe you get it, maybe you don't. On here, most of these jobs, I shouldn't say most of the jobs, but there's more than enough jobs which are just available to anybody who wants to take them. And you can click the job, accept the job, immediately start writing, submit it, and be done with it. It's not this constant back and forth waiting for approval on clients. Like I said, ideally, you'll either join a writing team or you'll get people who see you have a profile with a lot of activity, and they'll start reaching out to you, offering you more money. If you actually want to be like a freelance writer, make any serious money off of this, the ultimate goal would either be to have people send you direct orders, or ideally get them off of the platform. Just have people pay you directly through PayPal or Venmo or whatever, and negotiate your own deals outside of this. One kind of alternate use for this program for some of you guys, if some of you guys are like affiliate marketers or digital marketers, online hustlers in any form, when you start to see the types of content people are asking to have stuff written about, you can probably steal some niches from them and go copy this and do it yourself. And that's one other thing I wanted to add is, like, keep in mind you're being paid bottom barrel prices on this platform. So typically, like, if you're going to be writing stuff, in my opinion, you'd be better off writing your own content, setting up a free WordPress blog or a free Blogger blog or Tumblr, like literally anything, Medium. I think even if you were writing on Medium, you're probably going to get paid more through the Medium Partner Program or through AdSense or whatever else than you are from these people. Just write your own content and do your own content. But if you want some guaranteed money, or you don't have the technical ability to set up a website or whatever else, again, you can use this. And we'll just kind of dig around here. Let's see, beauty. And one thing that's a little bit frustrating is, like, these gigs are all duplicates. I don't know if you're allowed to do multiple ones. Let's see, Genucel Raise Money blog. They want 3 to 450 words. They're willing to pay 3 to 450. There's a 10-minute clock down where we can, read about this job, and then we have to either accept it or it's going to go away. And here they say, please search for the phrase Genucel patch. Recap the article you find called Genucel Raises Thousands in Donations for Moving Beyond Abuse. Make sure to include factual information. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so basically we would just paraphrase this article. And like I said, literally I would just copy and paste the whole thing. And I might be like, for a long time, nobles, kings, and emperors alike have been on pursuits to find the proverbial fountain of youth. So basically I'm just kind of copying exactly what they have, but kind of twisting the words around. And really the one good thing about this platform is most people seem to realize, most people seem to kind of have a realistic idea in mind in terms of the quality they're going to get for what they're paying. So you can, I hate to say churn out shitty content, but when you're getting paid shitty money, churn out shitty content and just make your money. Try to be as efficient as possible. So I notice people aren't too strict here on kind of the quality of the work they're looking for. But again, if you do a good job and you do stand out, people eventually will be willing to pay you a little bit more. So that's one gig. Let's see, social media analysis. I think this is the one I did. Please search for the phrase Genucel Twitter. Click on their Twitter and write a brief description about their social media activity and give an example of a tweet that you would send from this account. So that's one of the things that I did. One other tip for anybody that's doing writing. A lot of times it can be hard, like writing in the voice of somebody else or figuring out what to write about. One great tip that I heard from, again, this other YouTuber who, very small YouTuber, but a lot of times I find the best content comes from smaller YouTubers. He does this TextBroker. He makes a couple grand a year. And he was kind of talking about turning pretty much every article he does on here is, a listicle. So a listicle is like the typical BuzzFeed and kind of clickbait articles you see. Rather than writing some long form article, turn everything into a list. So for that Genucel, find a way to turn it into the 3 best aspects of Genucel. And then you basically have 3 bullet points. Maybe every bullet point has 50 words. You write a little intro, hit these 3 bullet points, about 50 words with each, a little wrap up, and you're done. And that's a very easy way to kind of do mindless writing and writing that's, easy to churn out really quickly. Business, I notice a lot of these business ones are like, write an article about this Indian businessman or this Spanish businessman. Carlos Alberto de, these ones are kind of painful and kind of boring to write. Please do not write more than 3 articles. Please do a recap of this article about CAOA history and the founder Carlos Alberta. And there's going to be a ton of articles in the business. Let's see. There's going to be a ton of articles in the business section of just recapping different like foreign business people's experiences. Very dry, very boring. In certain categories, there's just no jobs available for people of 2 or 3 stars. So unless you're rated like 4 stars or 5 stars, a lot of jobs aren't even going to be open to you. I think that pretty much wraps up everything. There's not a ton of stuff to go into about this. I'm kind of shocked that this video's lasted 20 minutes. But again, I'll drop some resources down in the description box below. There's another YouTuber who, if you're interested in this, he makes videos on this topic. If I can find a Homemade Entrepreneurs video, I'll drop it down below as well. Again, don't think you're going to become a freelancer who's able to support yourself off this site. Don't think that this is a way to make a lot of money or to get rich. It most definitely isn't. But again, if you're a high school student, a college student, a stay-at-home mom, if you're between jobs and you really desperately need some money, or if you have an interest in getting into writing and, well, shit, it'd be better to get paid for practicing writing than to just practice writing for free, this platform may be for you. And again, if you are looking to have content written, the quality of content here isn't going to be great. Like, I personally would never hire somebody to write something for my own or my business's own social media, website, landing pages. Like, I just wouldn't want to be associated with the quality of stuff that you're getting from here. However, if you have some like free blogger blog and you're just looking to like churn out a shitload of really cheap, low quality content and kind of hope that something sticks with Google, maybe you get a long tail keyword to stick and you make some money or something like that off of some affiliate ads, then by all means, you can hire people off of here as well. So I would love to hear your guys' experiences. Have any of you guys had good experiences hiring writers off of TextBroker? And or have any of you guys made any decent money writing for TextBroker? What's your opinion of the site? Let me know. Drop it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, click that subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.